It seems just like yesterday when the day before had us all excited with its stunning trailers and ambitious features, only to let us down once it was released. Missing lots of key features like crafting systems, survival elements, and a true multiplayer experience, it left many players disappointed and of course eventually was removed from Steam. Once Human is a free-to-play post-apocalyptic survival MMO that delivers on almost everything the day before promised, so if you still haven't been able to scratch that itch, I'm here to tell you that Once Human is going to help you with some well-deserved release. First off, we have a properly working crafting and an accessible gathering system. It also offers a truly open world with a real multiplayer experience. The server support is top notch with almost no lag. I experienced some lag, but that's because I chose to play on North American servers due to my habit from my Wrath of the Lich King days. So even with a 200 ms ping, the game was playable with almost no issues. Once Human gives you different servers for PvP and PvE. I opted for PvE since it's my jam, but it's great to know that PvP is also available for those who are interested. Also, you can move to another instance of the same server if you wish, which is honestly amazing because it allows you to connect and play with more people. The map is absolutely massive and the leveling system doesn't feel like a grind. I've been playing the game since it came out a couple of days ago and I've only just reached level 20 at the time of writing the script. I got to level 20 by basically following the campaign story and also doing a little bit of farming on the side to build my base, almost at a 50-50 rate between the two of them, which really made the experience a lot more fun than I anticipated. Speaking of base building, it's one of the few instances where I don't want to pull my hair out. For example, you can pick up your entire base and move it somewhere else if needed. I did this a couple of times when I had to be near a specific type of mineral while farming. It made my experience much better. Placing things is easy and polished without any trouble at all. The game does a fantastic job of guiding you every step of the way, and when you're ready to do things on your own, it just lets you go. Hey, if you're enjoying this review so far, why not hit that like button? It'd be like giving my channel a little bit of extra boost. And if you want to join our community and never miss out on our next adventure, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, it's more fun than dealing with post-apocalyptic monsters. The combat in Once Human feels polished and satisfying. Swinging your melee weapon feels great. Unlike some games where you have to reach an absurdly high level to get a basic pistol, Once Human allows you to pick up almost whatever you want right from the beginning. You can craft your weapons or you can loot them, adding a great mix to the gameplay, and the same applies to your gear with mods available for both weapons and armor. The enemy variety is great. The models are interesting to look at and some of them really do scare me sometimes, like the ones with their tongue hanging out, like that's just fucking creepy. There are a multitude of bosses and big battles where things can get sticky very quickly, so you do have to be prepared and also aware of your surroundings. But look, I gotta be honest, this isn't gonna be Elden Ring levels of challenge. In fact, it's not even close. As a comment on the difficulty level of this game, look, I've pretty much played the entire game so far on my own, and trust me, I'm not someone who's experienced with these types of games. So at level 20, things are really slowly starting to get a little bit boring, and my hope is that as I get to higher levels, the difficulty would also increase. But look, so far, I'm not gonna complain. I'm happy with the experience because I'm still learning and trying to figure things out. Overall, this is the standard experience I would expect from a 2024 multiplayer survival game from now on, and honestly, Once Human fully delivers on it. The game provides a balanced mix of crafting, looting, and combat mechanics that keep the gameplay engaging and fun. The game actually does a lot to make your life easier. For example, you're given a bike to ride to whatever you want pretty much within the first couple of hours of playing the game, and then there's a lot of points to teleport to, saving you a lot of time. You can also always just teleport back to your home. Like, I honestly feel like this game actually respects my time as a player, which is a pretty foreign feature to have in a game of this type because they usually force you to be fucking glued to the game and then they punish you if you have to go away. The graphics and performance of Once Human are absolutely amazing. I've had zero problems running this game in 2K resolution at high frame rates, mostly sitting between 100 and 144 FPS. I did experience a few dips here and there, but honestly I can't ever recall going below 60 FPS or even the dips affecting my gameplay. The options menu was pretty good, providing lots of customizable settings to suit your PC. I know I talked about the models looking gorgeous, but I just want to say that the graphics have this clear inspiration from games like the Remnant 2, The Division, and even a little bit of Control as well. The attention to detail in the environments and character design adds a lot to the immersive experience. This world feels alive and richly detailed, making exploration a visual treat. The story and narrative in Once Human are quite basic. You've survived an apocalypse and somehow gained superpowers that allow you to communicate with and control this otherworldly creatures called deviants. There are different types of deviants available and you can capture them as you play. These creatures add an intriguing layer to the gameplay that assists you in various tasks like farming, crafting, combat or whatever, making your survival experience more strategic and engaging. The storyline itself is straightforward. You're trying to figure out what happened to you while you're helping other people and also trying to survive in this harsh new world. However, the writing is possibly the weakest aspect of the game. The dialogues are very dry, the characters come off as dull. I found it very hard to care about them, which really detracts from the overall immersion. That being said, look, it's serviceable enough to keep the game moving forward, even if I do have to skip through some of the dialogues. The cinematics are nice and visually appealing, providing a break from the gameplay and adding some flair to the otherwise really mundane story. Luckily, the gameplay is deep and fun enough that I don't have to worry too much about the story. The compelling mechanics and engaging combat make up for the lackluster narrative, making sure that you remain invested in the game. Now, from what I can tell, and I've looked thoroughly as best as I can, the monetization system in Once Human is not pay to win. So this means that you can only spend real money on cosmetics that have no effect on gameplay. That said, I could be wrong here, as these types of games typically tend to find some way of sneaking in a pay-to-win mechanic, so if I've missed anything, please let me know in the comments. There's a store where you can just straight up buy things, and then there's a battle pass which costs around $10 and gives you access to a premium tier of cosmetics and whatnot as you level up. There's also a free tier of the battle pass available to everybody. That's a pretty nice touch. The cosmetics are, I think they're pretty, offering a different and unique art style. I think the prices are quite fair, but that's very subjective, so feel free to yell at me if you want. Just an FYI, I personally haven't spent any money on the game, and I don't think I will anytime soon. So, this game hasn't exactly had the smoothest of launches, but not for the same reason as the day before. Like I mentioned earlier, it runs beautifully and is a lot of fun to play. However, it currently sits on a mixed review status on Steam with nearly 2,000 user reviews. This backlash isn't about the gameplay or performance, it's about their anti-cheat system. So apparently in some countries, NetEase is collecting personal information from players, and this is things like names and driver's license numbers and whatnot. I'm from Australia and I haven't had to provide anything like this. At no point was I asked for such details, and from my research, Western countries are not required to provide this type of information. However, some Asian countries like China and South Korea have specific laws about these things, which I'm not fully knowledgeable about, so I can't really comment on those specifics. The devs did publish an update regarding this matter within almost an hour of the game launching. They explained the situation with honestly no real answer here. To me, it seems like they don't have a choice either, so both the devs and the players are in this together. Look, at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is for the players to research and understand the requirements in their own countries before downloading this game or any piece of software that might collect information about you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go and download this game just because it's been all good and dandy for myself. Instead, I suggest you look into it yourself. If you're uncomfortable with the information you might have to share with these guys, then it might be best to steer clear off of this game. On a more positive note, the developers seem to be quite active and responsive to player feedback. Like I said, they've been quick to address issues and communicate updates, which is always a good sign. Another example was within an hour of launching the game, the developers listened to the community and allowed players to create more than one character. That's a very quick turnaround and a positive sign of their commitment to the player base. Platform availability is another aspect worth mentioning here. Right now, Once Human is only available on PC through Steam, Epic Game Store, and also as a standalone game, which is nice for people who don't have access to Steam or Epic Games. Interestingly though, it's also coming to Android and iOS devices, which is somewhat really unusual, and there's no mention of console availability at this time. So as we wrap things up, I want to say that in my first 10 to 15 hours with Once Human, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time. The game delivers on many of the promises that the day before failed to meet. It offers a truly engaging and polished experience, from the robust crafting system to the satisfying combat and beautiful graphics. Considering the game is free to play, there's no harm in giving it a try. You can get hours of fun without spending a dime, and even if you decide to get the battle pass, it's only going to set you back like 10 bucks or something, which is a fair price for what you get. Overall, Once Human is a game worth trying, and I look forward to seeing how it evolves with future updates. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this review, consider supporting my work on Patreon for more in-depth insights and reviews. By subscribing to my free Patreon, you're going to get early access to my written work a few days before the video goes up on YouTube. Happy gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.